Hi, my name is Kelly Snyder. I'm an interdisciplinary student here at Western New Mexico University, attending online. I'm studying communications, English, and philosophy. In a research paper I wrote titled The Connection to the Art of Rhetoric and Humanity's Search for Truth, Justice, and the Good Life for Dr. Klein's Communication and Thought class. I attempt to prove the vital connection that communication and rhetoric have on humanity's search for meaning. The big four questions are a search for what it means to be human, what is the good life, and what is true and just in our ever-changing world. Throughout history, rhetoric has played a pivotal part in how humanity communicates, learns, and philosophizes. Rhetoric is not just giving speeches to persuade or practices used by past men such as Plato, Nietzsche, and Descartes. It is a guide that helps us explore what it means to be human, to have a conscious mind and that reasons. It is a means to search out the truths in our lives and discover what it is in the world. And most of all, rhetoric throughout history has opened up doors to new forms of thinking and contemporary philosophies to enable humanity to strive for a good life and enlightenment. So, what is rhetoric anyway? First of all, I'll give you a simple definition of rhetoric from the Webster's Dictionary. It is the art of speaking or writing effectively, such as studying the principles and rule of composition formulated by critics in ancient times. It is the study of writing or speaking as a means of communication or persuasion. Note that I said this is just a simple definition. Rhetoric is much more complicated than that, and in the end, it is wrapped up tight inside everything that makes us human. To be human is to have the ability to think and reason for oneself, the values we hold true, the choices we make, the relationships we maintain with the people and the world around us. It also means to fail. Think about what has gone wrong and get back up on that horse again. Yes, other species communicate, but out of instinct. We choose what we do. We have free will. We can think, reason, follow our hearts. That is what makes us unique. We learn from our mistakes. Thus, rhetoric has evolved in much the same manner we have. Humanity relies on communication to convey itself effectively throughout our existence. Plato helped to define what it means to be human in his allegory of the cave. Socrates tells of a cave where people live their lives in chains and shadows, simulating how that as humans we are blind to what is around us, but we can learn to see the light and to understand new things in ways that no others can. I feel compassion for others. According to our textbook, or Search for Meaning, written by several professors at this university, this knowledge of the good gives an understanding of what it is generally most important in life and profoundly influence the choices she makes at every turn. Aristotle set a precedent of what it means to be human with the Aristotelian triplet of logos, ethos, and pathos. These three concepts appeal to our human nature of logical reasoning, the credibility of our word, and compassion for others. This teaching is to set standards of speakers' character. This is not used just in persuasion, but as a basis for how we should treat others around us respectfully. Our credibility of being a speaker is essential to gain our peers' trust, be honest with the people around us, and appeal to one's compassion for truth and justice. If we bring this conversation out of ancient Greece and into the Middle Ages, we can see how the changing rhetoric broadens humanity. Until now, men were the ones allowed to be educated, when women were viewed as unintelligent beings whose purpose was not to be educated, but to follow the rules set forth. Solid and outspoken women began to rise, who helped to change how women saw themselves and were viewed by others. One woman, such as Christine de Pizan, according to our textbook, The Rhetoric of Western Thought, she is an imaginative figure whose rhetoric reflected large-scale cultural changes in the Middle Ages, influenced the ways women came to see themselves and their roles in society. These women, among others, helped pave the way for women's rights, and in turn civil rights, which was a massive step in growth of humanity. This growth could not have happened without the art of rhetoric. Proof of being human and rhetoric are interwoven. As our rhetorical communications change, so does our growth as humans. The next of the big four questions that my paper connects to rhetorical communication is finding truth. René Descartes and his Meditations on First Philosophy is one of the first philosophical works I read, and he is why I'm interested in the rhetoric of communication and philosophy. Descartes teaches us to know what you believe is true to your person. He tossed everything you believed to be true out the window and broke down his existence into facts. He determined that he existed because he was a thinking thing. I think, therefore I am. Descartes thought outside the box to seek his truth. Socrates said, "My opinion is that in the world of knowledge the idea of good appears last of all, and is seen only with an effort, and when seen is also inferred to be the universal author of all things that are beautiful and right, parent of light and of the Lord of light in the visible world, and in the immediate source of reason and truth in the intelligible world." Humanity's search for truth is its thirst for unparalleled knowledge. Knowledge will open our eyes to the reality before us and let us follow a righteous path of truthful existence. Truth is knowledge. The rhetorical form has taught these truths for centuries. Whether oral or written, rhetorical communication has been used to educate people, inform them of the happenings around them, and introduce them to concepts. Without the rhetorical truths, how would we know which path in life to stroll down, what turn to make, and who to believe? Granted, in today's world, these truths are hard to find, with all the misinformation being presented on social media platforms, fake news outlets. But that does not mean the truth does not exist. Our textbook tells us the media has always been a part of the story of rhetoric. Early theories of speech depended on memories because there was no widely available technology to write down and record the rhetorical acts. But now we have social media and the internet spewing information at us left and right, from cell phones and computers to political ads on TV. In the changing world, rhetorical communication is the backbone of our truths. We may have to sort through them a little more and open our eyes to the light, but it can still be found and is worth looking for. To find these truths today, we need to adapt our public screen to focus on forums of information with ethos and logos in mind, like professional journalistic venues. You need to research your news to make sure you're receiving. The next part of my research paper focuses on what rhetoric has to do with justice. Rhetoric was designed with justice in mind, and it was used widely throughout history in political and philosophical forums. Though they may have slightly different definitions of justice, the outcome is based on rhetorical theories. Justice is a sense of right and wrong. It is our moral compass and the foundation of what we know to be self-evident. Philosophers such as Aristotle, Augustine, Kant, and Rawls helped to shape how society views justice. George Campbell's influences propelled Richard Wheatley to conduct an analysis into the law systems on presumptions and the burden of proof. This study changed history in the judicial system to one where you are innocent until proven guilty. Can you see a society without a fair judicial system? I can't. Rhetoric's connection to justice and moral life has its roots dug deep in the rich soil and continues to grow with humanity. Rhetoric and justice will forever be intertwined with each other. As humanity grows, so will its connections. What does this all have to do with the good life? The good life is our pursuit of happiness, our means to an end, the reason we get up every day, go to work or school. The good life refers to our ethics, and in the end of the day, if you were not to have another, would you be happy with the life that you have led? If you can have a sense of accomplishment and pride in your life, then you are on that path. And ancient philosophers often pondered these questions. Humanity's search of meaning will never be over, for I think it is different for all of us, and is a question with no real outcome. For some people, religion plays a pivotal role in the search for endymondia, and without the art of religious sermons would not even have taken shape. And in the Age of Enlightenment, people used rhetoric to search for the meaning of life, to find endymondia. The Enlightenment, also known as the Age of Reason, was a philosophical movement in Europe during the 17th and 18th century. At its core was a belief in the use and celebration of reason, the power by which humans understand the universe and improve their own conditions. The goals of rational humanity were considered to be knowledge, freedom, and happiness. According to Kant, there were 4 key ingredients to a good life: self-knowledge, morality, courage, and rationality. Self-knowledge means knowing your strengths and weaknesses. Morality means treating others with respect and compassion. Courage means facing difficult situations head on. And rationality means using your mind to solve problems. But no matter your views on the good life, we need rhetorical conversations to explore all the possibilities. Without rhetorical communications, we would not learn about ethics, religion, philosophical views to guide humanity on the path of righteousness. Rhetorical thought and communication are the fabric that binds us to the good life. In conclusion, I have given you several examples and reasons why and how rhetorical communication is essential to humanity's search for truth, justice, what it means to be human, and the good life. The importance of rhetorical communication and thought are embedded in every question we ask ourselves today. If you have any more questions, please refer to the paper I have written. Thank you for your time. Works cited.